Welcome. In today's session, I'll be explaining about the biochemical aspects of hemolytic jaundice. It is also called pre-hepatic jaundice. We can classify jaundice into three main groups: hemolytic jaundice, hepatic jaundice, and obstructive jaundice. In today's session, I'll be dealing only with hemolytic jaundice. So, jaundice is the yellowish discoloration of the sclera, skin, and mucous membrane. When the serum bilirubin level exceeds 2.4 mg per dl, it is known to be jaundice. So, before going to hemolytic jaundice, I'll do a small recap on bilirubin metabolism. Bilirubin metabolism occurs in liver, and it involves four major steps. First step is transport of bilirubin from the reticuloendothelial system to liver. The second step is conjugation of bilirubin with D-glucuronic acid in the liver. And third step is excretion of this conjugated bilirubin into bile. And fourth stage is secretion, that is the excretion of conjugated bilirubin with the bile into intestine, and further degradation takes place there. So the RBC's lifespan is about 120 days. Due to the destruction of RBCs, hemoglobin will be converted into heme plus globin. This heme undergo oxidation in the presence of the enzyme heme oxygenates to form biliverdin, and with the help of the enzyme biliverdin reductase, biliverdin will be reduced into bilirubin. This is the first stage is transport of bilirubin from the RE system to liver. So here in this bilirubin formed in the reticuloendothelial system is transported via blood into the liver in a bound form to plasmabalbumin. That is, this bilirubin will be in a bound form with albumin. So it forms a complex called bilirubin albumin complex. This bilirubin albumin complex is known as indirect bilirubin or unconjugated bilirubin. So you have to understand what is the meaning of unconjugated bilirubin. So unconjugated bilirubin means the bilirubin which is complexed with plasma albumin. So this unconjugated bilirubin then undergo conjugation. This is the second stage. Okay, conjugation of bilirubin with D-glucuronic acid in the liver. So this unconjugated bilirubin is transported to liver, and where it gets conjugated into bilirubin monoglucuronide, or it can be conjugated into bilirubin diglucuronide with the help of the enzyme bilirubin glucuronyl transferase. So this bilirubin, this conjugated bilirubin is water soluble and it is secreted into bile. The third stage is excretion of this conjugated bilirubin into bile. So from the hepatic cells, the conjugated bilirubin is secreted into bile, and then this bile through the active transport process from the hepatic cells into it gets released into the bile juice. Okay, then excretion of this conjugated bilirubin in the intestine. So here what happens means, from the liver the bile enters the gut through bile duct. In the large intestine, the conjugated bilirubin is hydrolyzed by the bacterial enzyme beta glucuronidase to release free bilirubin and D-glucuronate. Okay, the free bilirubin is then acted upon by several enzymes in the intestinal bacteria, and ultimately it is converted into urobilinogen. In the large intestine, most of the urobilinogen is oxidized into intestinal bacteria to stercobilin, which is then excreted in feces. The stercobilin gives the feces a characteristic yellowish brown color, and a small fraction of urobilinogen is also reabsorbed from the gut, and it is transported to kidney, where it is converted to urobilin and excreted in urine. This urobilinogen is also excreted in urine. Urobilin gives yellow color to urine. Serum bilirubin. The normal serum bilirubin reference range is 0.2 to 0.8 mg per dl. The serum unconjugated bilirubin level will be about 0.2 to 0.6 milligram per dl, and serum conjugated bilirubin is in the range of 0.1 to 0.3 milligram per dl. So when this serum bilirubin exceeds 1 milligram per dl, it is called as hyperbilirubinemia. And when the serum bilirubin level exceeds 2 milligram per dl, then it is called as jaundice. Now we'll see what are the causes and biochemical findings of hemolytic jaundice. So in hemolytic jaundice, the main cause for this hemolytic jaundice is either intrinsic factor or due to extrinsic factor. So what is hemolytic or prehepatic jaundice? So in hemolytic or prehepatic jaundice, you can find increased breakdown of hemoglobin, so that the liver cells are unable to conjugate all the increased bilirubin formed, hence unconjugated bilirubin increase. So this is the condition. So more and more amount of that is RBC cell lysis is taking place. This RBC lysis is mainly due to two main factors. Either it can be intrinsic factor like abnormalities within the red blood cells by various hemoglobinopathies, hereditary sclerocytosis, or glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency in the red cells, or it can be due to extrinsic factors like which are external to RBC cells. Example, the incompatible blood transfusion, hemolytic diseases of the newborn, autoimmune hemolytic anemias, and malaria. So all this will lead to hemolytic jaundice. So here overproduction of bilirubin beyond the capacity of the liver to conjugate and excrete bilirubin occurs, which results in accumulation of unconjugated bilirubin in blood greater than 4 milligram per dl. This condition is said to be hemolytic jaundice and is characterized by unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia. In hemolytic jaundice, due to the overproduction of bilirubin, increased amount of bilirubin will enter the gut, which leads to the formation of more amount of urobilinogen and stercobilin. Therefore, the patients with hemolytic jaundice will excrete increased amount of urobilinogen in urine, and the fecal urobilinogen also will be increased, and the color of these stools will appear to be a dark brown color due to high content of fecal stercobilin. In normal adult, the healthy liver has the ability to conjugate and excrete about 3 grams of bilirubin per day. But in the case of hemolytic jaundice, due to excess amount of bilirubin production, the liver cannot conjugate. It's beyond its capacity, so it leads to excess of secretion of urobilinogen, and excretion of urobilinogen will take place. Hence, this hemolytic jaundice can be characterized by hemolytic anemia, unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia, increased amount of urobilinogen in urine, absence of bilirubin in urine, and dark colored urine and stool. When you consider the Vandenberg reaction, so this is a simple test to differentiate each type of jaundice. So here, when this in Vandenberg reaction, when bilirubin is conjugated, it gives a purple color immediately on mixing with the reagent. That time it is called as direct positive Vandenberg test. When bilirubin is unconjugated, the color is obtained only after the addition of alcohol. Then it is called as indirect positive Vandenberg test. So in hemolytic jaundice, unconjugated bilirubin is increased due to the unconjugated bilirubin, increased amount of unconjugated bilirubin. This Vandenberg test will be indirect positive. Then the serum alkaline phosphatase level will be found to be normal in the case of hemolytic jaundice. The biochemical findings in hemolytic jaundice includes, you can find increased level of unconjugated bilirubin, hence the Vandenberg test will be indirect positive test will, okay. Then serum bilirubin will be usually low, 3 milligram to 5 milligram %, and bilirubin in urine is not detected, and increased amount of urobilinogen in urine is found. Fecal stercobilinogen is increased, steatorrhea is not commonly present, and prothrombin time is normal. Turbidity and flocculation tests are negative. Serum aminotransferase activity is normal, and serum alkaline phosphatase activity is also normal. And bile pigment and bile salt in urine is there is no absence. Bile pigment and bile salts are completely absent in urine. And positive test you can find urobilinogen test will be positive in urine, and in feces you can find urobilins. And Vandenberg indirect test, due to excess of unconjugated bilirubin, Vandenberg indirect test will be positive, and serum conjugated bilirubin will be normal, and the serum alkaline phosphatase level also will be normal. So these are the biochemical findings you can find in hemolytic jaundice. So we can summarize that hemolytic jaundice is associated with increased hemolysis seen in incompatible blood transfusion, malaria, sickle cell anemia. And due to increased breakdown of hemoglobin, liver cells are unable to conjugate all the increased bilirubin, hence unconjugated bilirubin increases. And hemolytic jaundice, more bilirubin is secreted into bile, leading to increased formation of urobilinogen and stercobilinogen. Increased unconjugated bilirubin gives a positive test with indirect Vandenberg reaction, and bilirubin is not detected in urine, and urobilinogen in urine is also found to be in increased amount. So these all about hemolytic jaundice. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe and support Biochemistry DSP channel. Thank you.